Hey, welcome back to What Elon Said. Today is May 31st, last day of May. And while it does say the 30th here, we have a lot of articles from yesterday and today. Today, Elon discusses the Italian frame of mind. Happiness is a choice, according to him. Also, great Memorial Day wishes. And not last but not least, is meme stealing. So interesting conversations here. Let's jump right into it. We have the first one is Conte Partiro, and
hmm
then Elon Musk said Ave Maria from Andrea Bocelli, the singer Andrea Bocelli. I actually didn't fully understand this. I might have jumped into the middle of the conversation. I tried to go back and understand what this was referencing.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It was seemingly kind of cryptic. I think Conte Patiro is a song, or maybe
Ah,
part of Ava Maria.
okay.
But
He was just
I'm
in
guessing it was just something he was listening to and really enjoying.
that
That's
could
my
be.
take.
That could be. I would say of all the tweets that we will be more on top of our game for the others. But
We'll see.
and here we have a true story. This is from Elon as what was the name of the character?
Wario. There's
Wario.
Wario in court here from SNL.
And then he does that. He says, "I knew you were Italian. Come here and hug us." So little some playful things at the beginning today before we get to the serious topics.
Yeah, this is also a picture of an Italian floor, a mosaic in the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore. And he said, "E così bello." And I think that means it is beautiful. But he's liked this picture before. Pretty fascinating floor there.
Yes. Here is so today's very eclectic. We have a couple of just different posts. I know we're not getting into the meat of it, but I think you'll like it as it goes on. Here's just our Archilect. Loves the photos of those all the time. And again, this is another cool photo. This looks very futuristic, as everyone can imagine.
Yeah, it's just a cool car. It looks like
Just
Kit or
liked it.
something.
It
I don't
does
know.
look like Kit. It's Kit. Here we
It
have
looks rather influential on the Cybertruck. I'll just say
it
that.
does. It's like a squash Cybertruck.
Yeah.
This is weird. It looks like the Zeppelin is crashing into the into the pyramid, but it's actually just a cool picture that was posted about Egyptian men watching the Zeppelin float by, a little
Yeah.
unsteady. But just odd things in the picture. I think that's what struck him.
hmm Yeah, I mean, I think he likes fascinating history and great feats of engineering, and here's like two of them in one shot. Pretty cool.
Yes, yes,
And this was also kind of a historical thing. Science Girl posted how lobsters will follow each other in a line to move around, and this says 500 million years ago, these trilobites died in a storm, traveling in the same tight formations. And Elon says human civilization, as measured by the first writing, only began about 5,000 years ago. So since those trilobites existed, you could have had all human history 100,000 times over again. So just a little insight into how Elon's brain works and just sort of that the calculations going on and the ultra zoomed out perspective. I would say that
yeah.
Elon has.
We've been here nothing for 100,000 times the human history, and the on the other end of it, it strikes me that humans are so sort of unique that we've evolved so much in advance in such a small time period.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, the lobsters have not one change.
yeah, not one.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of evolution going on there.
No, they said this is it. This is the peak.
Mm.
Uh, Here we have Eva Fox saying, "Dare to be happy, dare to live the life you've always wanted." And then Elon says, "I don't know. That's kind of a scary idea." I think he is joking, knowing him. I think he's doing the life he wants. And then Eva said, "Fear destroys, happiness creates. You are the creator, so you have already chosen the path. It remains only to allow yourself to truly be happy."
Mm.
Elon said,
Well, I don't
"Perhaps I
know. I
will one
mean,
day."
you remember the other day when he said, when someone said, "How you feeling, Elon?" And he said, "Sad, a little sad, to be honest." So
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know what if he's going through like either personal things or if all the things with Twitter and the political backlash are impacting him in certain ways. But I typically feel like Elon's a pretty optimistic guy, and I think he still is here. But been some things getting under his skin lately, I guess.
I think so. And maybe, if you're the type of person that wants to think that big all the time, you're just never happy.
Mm.
You always want, like, there's
The pace of progress can probably feel a little frustrating.
that's right. That's right. It's hard to sit back and enjoy the big wins.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know.
Here.
You never know.
But he goes on to say that tomorrow will be the first sunrise of the rest of your life. Make it what you want. And remember that happiness is a choice. And then also like this tweet from It's All Risky Dogecoin guy here saying, I've also discovered that happiness is a study. It doesn't happen on accident. And if it does, not for long. So we must study happiness like a discipline and work to apply its principles in our lives. Gratitude, meaning, discipline, creating, and community are its foundations. I like that one.
Yes, yes, very deep. And that's what he likes after that. So that's but I think Elon ended optimistically saying happiness is a choice and went from there.
Mm-hmm.
But then went on to offshoot comments, which always happens, and he jumps in to Tesla owners Silicon Valley, says, when can we set the details for an interview on the early days of Tesla? And he says, how about tomorrow afternoon? Probably threw the guy offer. What? And then even Fox loved that. He said, you are incredible. You make people so happy because I guess you give interviews. And he says, I'm happy. I made people happy. So It's interesting. Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff here. And this was just kind of a happy, you made me happy, bro. Painting by me. And it's kind of cool painting with Cybertruck here.
And it made Elon happy because he liked it. So.
Yeah, definitely. And more on happiness here. We got Pope of Muscanides say, you do make me happier. Hey, I'll take 2 weeks off Twitter. I'm reply deboosted, and it's very unlikely that you can even see this tweet. Anyway, I'm sending you my best. We got your back when you can't see it. And he says, thanks. I switched back to chronological Twitter, so now I see you. We'll get to this, but some interesting things going on with the Twitter algorithm that's kind of boosting some in the Tesla community, as well as blocking or disrupting sort of Elon's thread. I experienced this myself and just trying to put this stuff together for this podcast. And with it today, after there was a whole bunch of noise made about it, kind of in the last 24 hours. Today, it seems to be better right now, but
it's happened to me also. That never used to happen. It's only in the last couple of weeks, 2 weeks or so. So it's interesting. Weird things going on. Weird things. Someone's pulling some levers in the background somewhere.
Maybe, or maybe it's just not that smart of a algorithm.
Yeah, well, you never know.
But we also have Shibatoshi Nakamoto saying, play your favorite song and dance.
And here we have a little tangent. Elon says, when thinking about deep time, what is more astounding is to think about how much time is ahead. And then, of course, this grabbed Lex Friedman's attention. He loves this. And each of us will likely be forgotten in time, like tears in the rain. Though hopefully life and consciousness will still persist, even after the heat death of the universe. They're getting deep. They're getting deep today. And Elon said, if the universe is headed for heat death, then it really is all about the journey. Since there's no destination.
Always love a good Elon and Lex conversation on Twitter or back and forth there.
Philosophical.
Yeah.
So, and then maybe a downer, I'm going to give a little quote on top of that to add to their thing, is that every person, no matter how famous they are, maybe the select handful, but everyone is completely forgotten within 150 years of their birth.
150 years?
Yeah.
What about George Washington? He's still up
there. Well, except for a unique handful.
Yeah. Okay.
But there will be that there'll be a couple who stand Julius Caesar we still know, but not many other Romans.
Oh, sure.
So you basically make them most of life. Everyone was very concerned about their legacy, but in reality, in the long run, the deep time, your legacy does not really matter. Just make the
Burns
most
up
of
with the
you.
heat death.
Burns up with the heat death.
I saw kind of a depressing tweet the other day too. That was there was once a very last time that you hung out with your childhood friends. It's
Wow.
like,
Interesting. That's
ouch.
a deep one. That's a deep one.
Yeah.
And you didn't realize it was the last time.
You don't realize it, but you were
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So let's see where we go from here. So you got Brett Weinstein saying you can get to that conclusion equally from the finality of death heat and from the probability of extinction. It's about the journey no matter what. The trick is to realize that despite the futility, we are not freed from the obligation to strive and value each other. Followed by James Jenko said, if you forswear your responsibility to highest good and you tear something out of the fabric of being that is of inestimable value. And then Elon says here, I swear my responsibility to the highest good for consciousness while always re examining what the highest good is. So, coming back to this sort of deeper long term mission to preserve the light of consciousness of humans. Elon.
I mean, he's a unique dude. He's just, I mean, he's read a lot and he said he's read a lot of philosophy in the past. And it really, I feel that's sort of unique for someone in his position.
Yeah.
That to have that background of science, philosophy, and entrepreneurship.
Yes,
be good at them all.
And humor and
humor.
It's like interest in art.
We get it. That's true. We'll get into humor in a bit. There's a lot of humor discussion. Yeah. What is humor? Yeah.
And just generally, I was thinking about this earlier, just generally pushing back against the establishment, but not in just a ragey type of way, like an artist does, but more in like well, no, that's not right. This is the way it should be done, and I'm going to do it.
That's right.
As opposed to just, making noise and expressing yourself about it.
He absolutely, and not only that, he says this is the way it should be on a public forum, and actually listens to the feedback, and sometimes says, you know what, you're right. That's a different way of thinking about it. That he takes the other. It's not just one way or the other. He iterates the way he does with most of his companies on the philosophy. Yep. Cool stuff. It's cool stuff.
Definitely. And thinks a lot about the future. So here you have Tesla owner Silicon Valley saying, what are you most excited about for the future? And he just says spaceships that can take you to other planets and a sustainable energy Earth.
Yeah, that's it,
man.
It really is whittled down to that.
Yeah.
That's the achievement. Like,
and
that's when he will be happy. And I agree with that. Until then, you can't breathe the sigh of relief until those two things are achieved.
Right. And just
hopefully there's another planet to go to that, like, it's not just all toxic atmospheres.
Yeah. Well, Mars seems like the best of the worst, as he said.
Yes.
And then it wasn't enough. So Tesla's owner Silicon Valley said, "Can my daughter and I get a tour of Starbase?" And he said, "You can see almost everything from the public road. So I guess we'll just leave it at that. Take a ride down there and check it out."
Supposedly you can see everything from that, and really, otherwise you just watch the Everyday Astronaut and you get a personal tour.
Right. I mean, if you've ever seen aerial pictures of the place, there's not a whole lot of trees or anything.
No,
it's pretty barren out there on like little peninsulas. So.
Yeah, it makes Cape Canaveral look like a luxury place, and that's just barren bones as well. Interesting. Oh, back to the fun stuff. We have the Jack in the Box, and it's open, and someone said he got out. He finally got out. A little humor. So so the Elon humor side.
Look, my guess is that Elon probably grabs most of his memes from the ether out there. But every once in a while, we'll see in a minute, someone's not happy about that.
Yes.
Right. So here's one niche meme is what Elon commented and said, Zodiac killer letter solved by opening it with VLC media player. And then just has some code in the background.
And then have like these
traffic cone.
The traffic cone does not open, not working.
Yeah.
So it was a little, kind of funny. But then we have Hard Drive said, hey, I'll give you a horse if you can stop copying our name off our articles. He's trying to be funny. Oh, and
Ooh, I don't know. Not a funny joke, first of all,
no,
especially
no,
given that the horse comment.
that's right.
And
And then Elon got into a meme ownership and humor discussion.
yes, he did. Um, pushing back, saying, "Well, that's only a 6 out of 10 meme anyway, so maybe step down from that high horse." But if you make something that looks like a meme and someone, not me, crops off your name, so it goes. The selfless art of anonymous meme creators is something to be admired.
That's right. So meme being selfless, it's selfless art, he's saying.
Yep.
And then he goes into the humor, saying the reason you're not that funny is because you're woke. Humor relies on an intuitive and often awkward truth being recognized by the audience, but wokeism is a lie, which is why nobody laughs.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that's
Um,
Elon's philosophy on humor. If it's woke, it's not funny, and
well,
that's
no,
why I
I
think
think he touches on something pretty truthful there. That a lot of what humor is what he says, pointing out the something awkward and silly that's real, in
that's
our
right.
lives, and that's why a lot of jokes are not PC, you
Appropriate.
know,
Yes, yes, yes,
right? And but he's saying that wokeism, wokeism represents a lie, and that it's just pressuring people to behave and to think a certain way, and that's
yes.
why nobody laughs about it. I don't know. I think it's an interesting take from him.
Absolutely. It's a little more into his insight of what he thinks about humor, but he's thought about it a lot of what humor is, and I
Yeah,
think
but it's
he has
also
some good
like
points.
it's an example of him, the way his mind works, I guess, in breaking down everything into like first principles uh, perspective.
That that's right.
Like what actually is humor? What makes people? What makes a human laugh? And
Yes.
yeah, I think he
Yeah,
kind of nailed at least part of it here.
that's
But
right.
then someone followed up with a Hard Drive Mag article, and he said that is less fun. It was about Elon, and he said that's less funny than SNL on a bad day. This could make a drug person sober. Try harder. Ouch.
He's, this
um,
is this reminds me of the what's his name, the Kitchen Impossible guy. Um, he insults everyone, yells at everyone, and on his Twitter account, people just post pictures of their meals, and all he does is insult them.
that sounds like a fun handle to
It is a
follow.
fun. It's a great Twitter account.
That's like the reverse of Instagram, where people want to post their meals all day and get praise about it.
Yes.
I guess how cool it looks.
He gives a little one-liner for each one, like that's uglier than this. It's funny.
Yeah, so this post here kind of brings it back to the Ricky Gervais special that he has um, expressed his likeness for over the past few days. And Pranay Patel says Ricky Gervais Supernatural or Supernature has a really good and hilarious take on this, on the wokeness. And Elon
Yeah,
says,
and I still haven't watched that, so it's hard
yeah,
to comment on it, but I can
it's
imagine
in
it
my
was.
feed as well.
It's,
Then we have Zach saying, share a 10 out of 10 meme. And Elon says, tomorrow.
tomorrow. There's a lot happening tomorrow. He's sharing a meme and he's doing an interview, supposedly.
Oh, really? Which I
No,
didn't hear
the
about.
other guy, the Silicon Valley guy, said, "When can we do an
Oh,
interview?" And
yeah.
he said, "Tomorrow afternoon."
Yeah, that's right. Lots going on a holiday weekend.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and then lastly on this topic, he just said that the guy who writes for Hard Drive magazine is a coward, and he blocked me. Hmm.
All right. That was interesting
It,
exchange
it,
you had there. So not happy with that group.
yeah,
Everyone's given
yeah.
bad news to the hard drive. And then finally, to close this out, seize the memes of production. Someone said it's all risky. Said a meme is never truly born until it is stolen. Said Confucius in 472 BC. I like that.
That's very good.
That's a good
This
meme.
guy, it's all risky, has some good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know. When you say that's all it, just on that topic, or
That topic.
yeah, okay. we'll roll right along here in Elon land.
Yes.
We got a few
Yes.
likes. Here's some ancient Greek armor, which is pretty cool. We're returning back to the Elon Musk AOC trust poll that was put out there by Steven Crowder. And Steven just following up saying, well, the people of Twitter have spoken, and you have been deemed more trustworthy. Can't argue with the people.
There you go. He's admitting defeat.
Yeah.
Elon said when thinking about deep time. Oh, there's more
Yeah.
deep time
Deep
and
time.
pomp. Pomp.
Should
Anthony
have
Pomp.
brought that
Time
one
is the
back up. I
ultimate.
think that's my
Yeah,
bad.
that's all right. Time is the ultimate currency. Once someone realizes that, their life has changed forever. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
A common pomp message. I think I've heard him say that
Yes.
before.
Yes.
So this
Okay.
was the supercharger that was in France here, I believe. Some interesting approaches going on to sharing the superchargers, where they have
Hmm.
non-Teslas pulling up on the grass on the other side.
Interesting.
Maybe a new
That,
supercharger design idea.
that's where they're relegated to. Interesting. That actually, Wall Street Journal had a big article this morning on superchargers, on EV chargers in general. That the rollout's been much slower than was anticipated,
Yep.
and ways to fix it. So
Need to get going. In fact, in Ireland here, there was a survey put out to the public about priorities in regards to more chargers, and yeah, I didn't see any
good.
mention of Tesla in there, so
Interesting.
we'll see.
I'll be coming.
Brandon here says, or Brandon E916 says, Elon, may we get the ability to have the windows to close automatically if the Tesla detects rain and the windows are open while parked? And Elon says, sure. And
Why not?
I think there'll probably be, like we've talked about, that just means, okay, the team's already working on it. Like as soon as he
Totally.
tweets this out. But no, I think he's serious though, because there was an article, I think a Tasmanian article posted today that he liked that was stating the same thing. So
I'm sure there's an intern at Tesla whose part of his job description is to read every tweet, and if Elon asks for something, let the team know.
yeah, put it on the board, get working on it. Yeah, so Andre Kaparthi back with a few tweets over the weekend. And he's saying that products currently brag about being smart, like my coffee cup warmer. What if it's like he's basically saying it's becoming too much. So a future where products brag about being dumb must be coming and can't come soon enough. And Elon says, I couldn't agree more. There is such a thing as too much sentience for household appliance. Imagine giving advanced AI to a toilet paper with an implicit maximize poop until or utility function so it engages in deep societal manipulation just to maximize.
He is. Yeah. It's funny because these are the two guys who are putting AI and everything in their products, but they're saying some things just don't need it. It's overkill.
Yeah.
It makes it worse, a worse experience.
Now, I wonder if someone would have had this opinion like 50 years ago about a car.
Yeah, I know.
When they were integrating like clocks into coffee machines and stuff.
Yeah. They'd want just the car to be simple.
Yes. Yeah.
And then here we get to Memorial Day. Elon posted just a nice in remembrance of those who fell to preserve the light of freedom. And then, of course, it all goes downhill from someone saying, you don't care about freedom, Elon. If you did, you wouldn't be supporting Donald Trump. And then he basically clarifies, I support free speech, but not any one candidate. And then he says, in fact, I didn't support him. I gave to the other two candidates in the past and voted for Biden. I voted for them. And then I said, but in the future, or at least coming short term, he's going to vote for Republicans because Democrats are against me, and gave a cold shoulder to his companies. Mm-hmm. So he feels against me, no good. So they're out. And then Tesla Facts on the next page said an incomplete list of Democratic attacks. So they have a whole list of Democrats attacking Tesla and SpaceX. And then Elon says, yeah, the public really has no idea how much they've attacked us. Mm. And then that they only support people who are unionized. So we've given how Elon feels about this in the past, and that's his opinion right now.
Yeah. Saying that they would rather have a company be dead than not unionized.
That's right.
Crazy. But, I think he's like, man, he's pretty brave to be sticking his neck out and just using names. Like, let's go back a slide here. We can see that this one where he said he voted for Hillary and then voted for Biden has a significant number of comments underneath it
Yes, you're
compared to some
right.
of
You're
these
right.
other
That
ones. And then he also goes on to say, where was it here? Oh, maybe it was here. Oh, yeah. Where he says, someone asked, was Trump really relatively supportive of your endeavors? And he says, yes, although I hesitate to admit that because there are a lot of people that foam at the mouth even if you mention his name.
yes.
Um, but backing up a little bit, Gally Russell here says, why commit to the Republicans? In my opinion, this is the time a third party candidate will win. And that's what I'm rooting for. It will be an epic for America's future. And Elon saying, I'm just talking about the midterm elections in November. Not sure there's a third party candidate. It's rather hard to support a party when prominent members of that party keep attacking me and sidelining Tesla and SpaceX. Um, and then Pranay Patel says that Obama was an ardent supporter. I wonder what happened. And he says, that's true. Tesla was attacked by Romney in 2 of the 3 presidential debates. Those lines were fed to him by a particular individual in the oil and gas industry. The Dems turned negative over the past 12 months. At least part of it is Mackenzie's donation to PACs,
Yeah.
posing as
That,
charities.
this is like really bringing out stuff. I've never heard of this. Maybe I'm oblivious, but
Yeah,
I,
well, yeah,
man,
neither was here.
that's a big one. Mackenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. Now, granted, she's given to, it even says here 465 organizations. So maybe one was influential. I don't know. Elon's a smart guy, so maybe he knows, but it seems like she's given him many things. I don't know if she's and actually she's stated I don't give advice on it. I just donate. So I don't know if she's really purposely gone out to it, orchestrated an attack on Elon Musk. It seems
I don't know,
extreme,
man.
but
Money drives action. So,
it
especially in
does. It
politics.
does. But she's given to so many organizations that I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I'm not
It seems
saying she's a bad person or anything, but I don't I didn't read the article here, so
yeah.
probably should do that if I'm gonna comment at all on it. But yeah, there's Elon saying that fortunately a lot of the people have gotten caught in the crossfire of the Mackenzie and Jeff kind of battle.
Feud. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's
Wow.
what my take on all this is. I get the feeling that Elon is trying to apply some pressure to the Democrats, some public pressure to really like show people, look, this is crazy and it's not fair to my organizations who are trying to do good things for humanity. And also, I've voted Democrat in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, really, it boils down to you guys not supporting us and
Because of
supporting our companies that are really in line with democratic missions. So
that's right.
I just think I'm interested to see how this plays out before November, because I'd be really surprised if he still has this opinion, or that things haven't changed all that much before then.
I mean, you're right. He's saying basically that the Democrats' priority is pressure from the unions over the environment. And when they say they support the environment and future of mankind, it's only in the guise of the ESGC corporations, which is really a nonsense group. That when push comes to shove, they're just all about taking the money from the unions and being supported. He's trying to expose what's going on. So brave, but he as you said, he tells it like it is all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be surprised if someone on the Democratic side doesn't bend a little bit to this, and then there's kind of a ripple effect through that party that, you know what, this is stupid. We need to support this guy doing a lot for the country, and he's in line with our political ideals. Let's not lose him.
I agree, and I feel
see.
This is going off tangent a little bit, but I feel down the line is a lot of older people in charge right now. I think over the next few years, as they retire, things will start to change with the next generation of leaders.
Yeah. And I think one last thing on this. This was someone posting that Ali Zaidi, who's deputy White House National Climate Advisor, seems to be the person who's most responsible. Who knows? Elon just said interesting. I mean, I read this article, it didn't really insinuate that, but yeah. So let's keep moving. A few other things here. We got Homar's catalog saying, "Don't worry," they said, "it's just 5%," referring to Twitter and spam bots, and then
Yes.
posts this screen recording scrolling through what looks like, dozens, if not hundreds, of spam accounts, and Elon saying, "Yeah, maybe a smidge higher." And then we got Stephen Mark Ryan here referring to what was mentioned earlier here, where the Elon's thread stopped loading. You couldn't go back like more than a day.
Yeah.
And
Even
Elon
less than a
basically
day.
saying, "What's going on, Paraga?" Or S Paraga.
Calling out the CEO.
Yeah.
Man, he's just putting the pressure on everyone. You don't want Elon's heat on you, I'll tell you that much. So
I would agree with that. And here's the reason why I think. And I don't think it's because he's a good politician and he's going to destroy your career. I think it's because he's going to get down to the root of the problem and approach it first principles wise. And that's when you're going to get stuck. I think he makes a good lawyer, except that he approaches it with like a scientific viewpoint, sort of.
that's right. That's right. And I'm sure he's the same thing in internal. Jeff Bezos is like that also, where they're like, if you get an email from Jeff and he usually sends the email just forwarding someone else's email with a question mark. And you know that if you don't get back to him within an hour or something, you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, let's get down to the real core of this here.
Let's get to the heart. So this is a weird picture. I don't think I saw this. Michael Saylor posted this.
This is a bot account called Bob is Here to Explain, and Bob is like a funny looking frog animation. And
Yes.
Michael Saylor, he's responding to Michael Saylor saying the Twitter bots must be destroyed, and he's kind of tearing up, sad, like, I don't want to be destroyed. And then Elon said, "I support you, Bob. Some bots are good." It's really like a comedy account, but somehow it's automated. I don't know how, but
I don't know.
It gives funny descriptions of explanations of tweets. Some Memorial Day shout outs here. Don't take your freedoms for granted. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. And then this was from U.S. Space Force. Again. This was CIA.
This is the funniest one. Does anyone else feel like they're being watched? And then CIA corrected them immediately. They're.
Forgot the apostrophe. You spelled it wrong.
You spelled it wrong. We noticed as we were watching.
Yeah,
yes, funny.
But Elon. Oh, gee, I don't know. Elon says that I'd be shocked if I'm not being spied on. Actually, haha. My only ask is that anyone spying on me, please don't affect the call quality too much, or I can't hear what the other side said. Like, just spy all you want, listen all you want, just please don't interrupt our calls.
That's right. That's right. And then we have interesting topic started by Jack posting about 2029 and an image that I felt YouTube would block us for, so I did not post
in the shell. Yeah.
Yes. And then Elon, and it's talking about like it was showing in the future you could be connected to the internet basically through your head and body. And then Elon says very prophetic. 2029 feels like a pivotal year. I'd be surprised if we don't have AGI by then. Hopefully, people on Mars too. So those are two big movements in humanity that he hopes. He thinks 2029 is the year. A lot around that time period. Oh my God, I'm forgetting his name, but prophetic futurist predicted 2032 would be the year. For many years, he's predicted that it will be the year that sort of the merger with computers would happen, or super intelligence for AGI would happen by that point.
Okay.
Where computers become conscious or surpass humans.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, but that's giving some insight into Elon's time frame. Of course,
Yes.
he's always usually optimistic in that. But,
True.
but let's get on with the Roaring Twenties already. Come on.
Yeah. It started.
This
Maybe
was
we're
Pranay
ending. We don't
Paddle
know.
saying, also, what's the status on Saboteur fuel plant? And he says, still early stages on that. Getting Starship reliably to orbit is by far the top priority.
And immediate reusability.
Yep.
So that's the mechanism, whatever it is, the mechazilla.
Mm-hmm. Catch it, refuel, and
Yeah.
launch
You know,
again.
I don't blame him. He has those two things. If they get it, return, catch, relaunch, mission accomplished. The rest is easy, right?
I mean, really, you think about airplanes and how far they've come in 100 years. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, now you're talking 7 years and not
Yeah.
100 years. So,
That's right.
but I don't
They're
know how.
almost there.
Let's see, how long has it been since we launched a rocket? What, 60 years? So
Yeah.
70.
Why not?
But how long has it been since The Hobbit and Middle Earth? In a
Ah,
while, but there's a little flashback there. Elon says, I miss them. And that's the four hobbits in the movie from
yes.
2001. And then here they are in 2022, reunited.
Looking sharp.
I don't know. Let's see, a few others here. He was rocking out to, I believe, a Daft Punk song. But he says Tesla Plaid S cruising around Austin with volume at 11 is sublime.
Nice. He's having a good time. The 511.
Yeah.
Here we have Hiro Mizuno said journalism should be conscious about their choice of photo in their article. A photo often talks more than words. And I have a feeling in this article, I didn't actually click through,
It's
but I'm
just
sure
got
they
it's
had
got a picture of a
an image of
Tesla.
Tesla. I'm
Yeah.
sure that's what it was. Like making it seem like that was the one being recalled the most, by that image.
Yeah.
And then here goes Elon. He's saying, always a good point. Tesla doesn't advertise. Others do. They are hesitant to bite the hand that feeds them. So they figured, hey, if we got to throw someone up there, Tesla is not going to pay us. So let's do it.
Yep. All right. Well, we may have a couple more, but I think we got to wrap it up there.
All right.
So
it's a good ending.
Yeah, good episode. We'll leave it with this shot of Starship, and that'll do it for today. And we'll be back tomorrow, June. Holy moly! Everyone has a good one.
Bye.